Hi there. It's Cole again.
And this is Rex. We're just
We're gonna be talking about games I've been playing.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about games Cole's been playing, and
Yeah, because there's been a lot of time since the last podcast, so I've been doing a little bit. Also, I should. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cole's been playing some Code Vein apparently. You can see in the
Yeah, so you can see probably behind me there's there's my face. Yeah, I've been streaming this game a lot. It's to get into this one just real quick. It's basically a Dark Souls clone, but like with JRPG mechanics kind of sprinkled in. I'm also very bad at it. I don't know. Have you played any of the Dark Souls games or anything like that?
Yeah.
Or any Souls likes?
Yeah. How's this one? Is this the one?
How's this one?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. This is actually the only Souls game I've played more than like the first zone of, or like the first two zones of.
Huh.
So I actually have not played that many Souls like. This is like the first one I've really gotten into.
Okay.
And then the only reason I got into it is because one of my friends actually just bought it for me out of nowhere.
How far are you?
How far am I?
Yeah, how many hours are you on it?
I can look on Steam and figure that out. Let's see. Code Vein. It says that I've got about 23 hours in it.
Okay.
I think I'm probably about a third of the way through.
Okay.
Apologize for
Are you having fun?
I think it's pretty good. I'm having fun. I'm definitely the area that you're seeing right now. It is like the cathedral of something or other. I forget, but it's bad.
Okay.
Like it's kind of lame. If I'm being honest,
Lost.
You get lost super easy. You're constantly climbing up and down stairs and going up and down like ladders and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of like it just feels kind of lame and hard to explore. And thankfully, I had the guy who bought me the game also kind of has been Sherpa-ing me through it. He's been guiding me through it.
He's playing with you right now.
Yeah. Well, he's not. Oh yeah, no, he is. He is in this video. So you'll probably see him pop up. But yeah, he's pretty good. Or he seems to like the game a lot. It's not as good as other games of the series, but
What type of character are you playing?
Or other games of the type of thing. What type of character?
Yeah, I guess.
So actually, that's one of the most interesting things about the game. So, how the game works, right? Like, while other games allow you to kind of build out your character by like changing stats and stuff like that, this one is actually, I think, a lot more streamlined than a traditional like stat sort of system. Because instead of having stats that you increase, you have blood codes. That are basically, honestly, just classes. And each blood code has skills attached to it. And when you equip the blood code itself, it actually modifies your stats automatically. So you can go from being a ranged character to a melee character to like a magic kind of character anytime you want, and just switch a couple stats around, or switch a couple pieces of your gear around. Change a couple of your sort of abilities, and then boom, you're an entirely new character, no hassle. So I actually think is probably the most compelling thing about it for me. I love being able to like mess with class stuff. Getting skills is one of my favorite things. There's lots of that. So
does it cost?
All right, now
what does it cost to reset?
What? None. Zero.
Okay.
Like changing your blood code is an automatic respec, so it's free. Cool. And the game wants you to do it over and over, like often, because using a blood code with those skills on it, if you level up those skills enough, you get to keep them and move them to other blood codes. So like you can actually pull in skills from other classes, basically. Mm-hmm. It's neat. I like it a lot. I like it way more than a traditional stat system in any RPG. It's cool.
Cool. Okay, Code Vein, the game where you could reset your class.
Yeah, that's among the things that's a lot of like it's mostly
Soulblade. It's Demon Souls with class resets.
Yeah, it's like Demon Souls, the class resets, and
co-op.
Another like it's like an easier Dark Souls or an easier Demon Souls or Dark Souls because like notice how there's 3 guys.
Yeah.
One of them is actually always with you. You always have a NPC partner.
Cool.
And they're pretty strong, so it's not as punishing by a long shot.
Maybe I'll give it a shot. I like NPC friends. Okay.
Yeah, it feels more like it wants to be a JRPG, but still kind of tries to do Dark Souls stuff, even at its own detriment.
Let's talk about your next game that you've been playing, Xenoblade.
All right.
2.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. All right. So this game I've been getting back into, despite putting it off for a long time. I actually bought it right when it came out because I was curious about it. But I'm trying to think of a great way to summarize my opinions on it. Story's okay. The dub voice acting is passable. I'm okay with it. The character designs are freaking amazing. I love every single it has kind of a system where you get to collect like people to use, like these things called blades, which are just characters that have.
Oh, I've played this game.
Yeah, you played this game? Yeah. It's the combat is just not good. Like people will constantly I've gotten to the point where I'm like okay with it now, but it's not good. It feels like it's trying to compromise between an action system and a traditional RPG turn-based system, and it just fails at both. And there are a lot of people, every time I complain about it online, there's always somebody that comes up and is like defending it and just goes, no, it's good, and it's really rewarding once you get used to it, I swear. But I'm sorry, it's garbage. It's trash. Like it could be way better. And the only thing that saves it for me is the fact that, again, everything visually is just super good. Like I love the way it looks. I love the modifying of the stats and all that. I like everything, but actually doing the combat. And even then, the combat's like it's not bad enough that it like pushes me away, but like I don't care. I don't care about it I don't care about it unless it's like a boss fight, and then it kind of gets a little bit interesting. But I don't know. You said you played it, so I don't know. Do you have any opinions on it?
Okay. Like you say, I think it's a beautiful game. It has good characters. Storyline seems interesting enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The combat's passable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. I don't think it's trash like you say it is. But,
I admit I'm exaggerating just because my feelings on it are just freaking. My feelings on combat in general are always really strong.
I think I could see that would be the weakness of this game to a degree. It's the combat, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there's so many ways it can be improved. That's the problem, in my opinion.
I don't know different ways it can be improved, but it seemed very boring. Okay, on the combat sometimes.
Yeah, it's like MMO combat in a single player game.
Yeah.
It's just
anyway,
why
the game is huge. If you like JRPGs, most people I think who like JRPGs will like it.
Yeah, I will say it is really big and it is cool in that regard. The game is like huge, but honestly, like I think if they just kind of made the game, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but more like Breath of the Wild, where you could climb on top of stuff, and it was more action combat. I think that it would actually be a lot better.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think the combat. They're trying to get like a fun way to do turn-based combat. They don't want all action RPGs, so they're trying to figure. They're experimenting. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the final version yet. That's all.
Is it? It's literally the final version of that game.
Well,
what do you
that
mean?
game, but it's not the final version of that type of combat. I'm sure a new iteration will come out.
I'm sure, but I honestly think that
3.
With the
Some
popularity,
people really liked it. So,
I mean, people obviously they come and they defend the game staunchly every time I criticize it. I've never had anybody respond to like my random Twitter musings except when I complain about that game. Like that's the only time I've had just somebody respond to like a cold no hashtag opinion of a game on Twitter. They just jump in and just like, no, it's good, I swear.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about.
Okay, all right.
Gunvolt Chronicles, Luminous Avenger.
Yeah, Luminous Avenger X. Okay,
X?
so
Is it X or 9? Why?
X. It's not 9. It's X. It's pronounced X.
Okay.
It's very silly. So
why is it
basically,
X and why not 9? What's going on?
Why is it X? Because it's not the 9th. It's not even like close to the 9th version or game in the series of whatever Gunvolt is. He's just X. I don't know why yet. I haven't completed it, but I'm very, very close, despite only owning it for maybe like 3 days. And I've only been playing it maybe like at most an hour. My sessions are almost like 30 minutes or so. It's not a very long game, but I will say that I enjoy it more than the original Gunvolt. To put in perspective, Gunvolt is like
what version? What game is in the series? Is it there?
What game's in the series? It's like Gunvolt 2, and then this is essentially the third game I think in the series.
3 times 3 is kind of like 9, I guess. Is that behind?
3 is not like 9 at all. What do you mean?
Why the X, dude? Why the X?
I don't know. That's just what they call. So the Luminous Avenger X is the main character of this game. Oh. His name is Copen, and you fight him a lot. But they call him X because that's what they. Dude, I don't know. It's really dumb. It is extremely stupid. The story doesn't make any sense. I'm sure I would get it more if I played Gunvolt 2, but I cannot be bothered, and I will explain why. But so basically, Gunvolt, those games are basically like they're like Mega Man X. They're Mega Man X. They're like Mega Man Zero, where they're like a side-scrolly game, kind of tough or high skill ceiling, action platformers with lots of shooting and jumping. It's actually made by people who worked on like the Mega Man Zero series, and so if you know anything about that, it kind of fits that role. But the problem with Gunvolt is that, and I respect them trying to experiment, but the way Gunvolt works is that his gameplay, the protagonist, because this is basically your rival in the Gunvolt series, the protagonist of Luminous Avenger.
So do you like this game?
I'm getting into it. I like this game a lot. Sorry, I know I'm going around the bush, but I promise it'll make sense in a second. But
okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I like this game a lot. I actually really, really do. I think it's fun. I think it's very
Why do you like it?
Dynamic combat or dynamic gameplay because you're constantly bouncing from object to object, shooting at things. Like so, you bounce off an object, you can actually like dash around through the air, and when you hit something, you target it, and you can just start shooting at it.
Is it better no
matter where you are? It's kind of like Mega Man X, but imagine if Mega Man X was all about dashing. And like you were constantly bouncing off the walls and into things. And honestly, if you're really good at the game, you don't even need to touch the ground. Like you're just constantly zipping around at high speed. It's amazing. It's fun. I love it. The only problem is, or I would say my problem is that it's short, and that I have a feeling that they're not going to stick with this kind of gameplay for the other games in the series. Okay. So this is my complaint. Like, don't play any. I would say don't try any of the other Gunvolt games because this one's fun.
Is there a newer version coming out or out?
There's a Gunvolt 3 that's coming out with it seems like only Copen's not included. So this character that you're seeing, he's not going to be in this new game, the 3, which is again why I'm complaining.
You like this character the most?
I like this character so much more than the original character for Gunvolt. Because Gunvolt, that's his name, is, or at least that's what they call him. He instead of like dashing around to lock onto people, Gunvolt shoots these little like lightning rods, and they embed in your enemy, and then you can hit a button to like sort of shoot them with lightning. And what really sucks about it is that you basically the gameplay stops. Like you stop, you hit them with lightning by holding this button, and they slowly deplete their, not slowly, but like slow in terms of like gameplay, deplete their health, and then you move on to the next guy. And so it's basically very stop and go. It just feels really stilted and gross. Whereas this is like the opposite of that, which is why I love it so much. And I feel like, I thought that like this was sort of like hey, we found a way to fix Gunvolt's combat, and we're gonna go with this from now on. Because they made a game just starring him, because he was playable in Gunvolt 2 as well, as another character, and then they just made a game exclusively about him. And I was like, oh, okay, so then maybe they're gonna stick with this guy and sort of progress that way. But no, it sucks. I like this game a lot, and the fact that I like it a lot makes me sad because I know they're not going to do more of it. Is I guess the way I feel.
Is this one? Was this one so well?
Did this one do well? I actually don't know. I think the Gunvolt games kind of do like lukewarm. There's not like they don't have a huge following. I think that because you ever heard of Mighty Number 9?
Yeah.
From what I understand, I'm pretty sure that the developers are the same company, and I think that any game that looks Mega Man-like from the people who made Mighty Number 9 kind of takes a little bit of a hit, just because they're like, oh, well, that game was bad, so obviously every game they make is going to be bad, which they're not. I mean, honestly, even the Gunvolt games, they're passable. Like, they just kind of feel like the combat is just kind of eh. Oh, this one's great. This one's awesome. I'm not saying again. This one's not bad at all. This one's fantastic.
Well, I hope more people buy it.
It's just short.
If you like it.
Yeah. I would say though, get it while it's on sale. Don't get it full price because it's not enough game for what you're paying, in my opinion.
All right.
Sorry, I know I kind of was jumping around from spot to spot, but I will say, like, it is very cool. I think if you like frantic sort of games that involve a lot of movement, a lot of bouncing from thing to thing, very dynamic sort of combat and action, you're going to appreciate this a lot.
Sounds good.
But just understand that it's short.
I think that's good for your 3-game recount. Recap.
All right, you can stop now.
And
I'm good.
Unless you got something else to say about any of these games before we sign off here.
Honestly, I think like with all of these games, like I think I've gotten everything I want to say out. I think that if there's anything that, I think with I could say a lot more actually about the Gunvolt series in general, because I do think that there's a lot that like it can be improved on it, and if they did, it would be an awesome series.
Get us some gameplay, and we'll do a video on Gunvolt if you really want to do something larger on it.
Maybe I'll get some gameplay of it, but personally, I think I'll wait till if we do this, I'll wait till Gunvolt 3 comes out. Because they might be able to change my mind. Okay. Like, obviously it's not released, so we'll
talk
wait.
about Gunvolt 3 when it comes out.
Yeah.
All right. This is it for this section. Thanks everybody for listening and watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right. Cool. We'll see y'all later.